What's going on, guys? It's Kyle here, and in today's video I was going to talk about the most attainable physique and strength gains that you can kind of get as a natural, alright? So first off, before I get into it, right now I am a natural, but I do not plan on being a natural for the foreseeable future, just because I plan on competing in classic physique, and I also plan on taking my powerlifting endeavors, ambitions, whatever, like to the top level, okay? Because I firmly believe that I have the genetics, I have the potential to kind of do this, I have the work ethic to be able to like really get to the top. So at a certain point in like very shortly in the next actually like month kind of thing, I will be trying to get into that. Into the anabolics. Very soon actually, I've actually been talking to a few friends. I have a few friends that were in medical school, and they were actually able to talk to me about the about anabolics and the kind of hormones and stuff like that. So I'm getting into it, starting to learn about it, and I'm going to put out a video on that. So if you're interested in that, please stay tuned and subscribe. I do not plan on lying to anyone about, you know, physiques and strength like that. However, you can still achieve an amazing physique, and you still can achieve great strength gains as a natural, okay? Even up until this point, like just now, like last year, I was squatting, I was able to deadlift 500 and I was able to squat 450, okay? And that was even after like a lot of injuries and a lot of bullshit that I had to go through. And then coming back this year, I just revamped my training, you know, and then like I trained a lot more for size and stuff like that, and then like did my powerlifting kind of thing. And after like a couple cycles of doing that, I've really blown past where my lifts were at before. You know, I was actually able to deadlift 565, and I was actually able to squat 500, well 495 for the first time ever. So definitely about 50-pound increase on both of my lifts, which is awesome, of course. You know, that being said, I have been training since I was 13, since I was 12 really. I got my first weight set when I was 12 and began training then. And really I had access when I was 13 to some really like excellent trainers. Okay, the Peak Center here in Ottawa, where they actually would train Olympic athletes and stuff like that, so they really do know what they're doing. A lot of the lifting things I was able to learn from them, you know, really transferred over very well to bodybuilding and powerlifting, because actually a lot of the training that you would do for sports was actually very similar to that, right? So go figure. I feel that I should just be honest about it, okay? I do not plan on hiding behind a mask saying that I'm going to be fucking natural, you know, forever. I do not plan on being like a huge fucking bodybuilder and not talk, you know, saying that I'm just natural or whatever the fuck, okay? Because it's fucking bullshit, okay? It actually pisses me off when people are just like up there like fucking freak, okay, and they're saying that they're fucking lifetime natural. I don't believe that shit. So like I said, I'm just gonna jump on the computer here and I'm kind of just gonna go through, you know, like a few pictures and a few videos to actually kind of show you, you know, like what is really like more attainable. And the point of this video is to really keep you motivated and really just kind of show you guys like, look, like you don't have to do gear, or even you don't have to do a lot of gear. Like you don't have to do anything, okay? There's very like awesome physiques and very, you know, enormous amounts of strength that you can gain just as a natural, okay? It does take some time, okay? It does take some work ethic and stuff like that. But if you actually go watch one of the other videos that I have about bulking up in the fitness industry the fastest, I talk a little bit about how you just train and bulk up for like 2 years, okay? And this is kind of the fastest way to really get your body and your strength to the way that you really want it to, instead of like competing for competitions and stuff like that. So just go check out that video, and I'll kind of go into more detail there. But for this video, let's just jump into here, okay? Alright guys, let's just jump right into this. So the first guy that I want to go over is Lane Norton, okay? And he is a bodybuilder and a powerlifter. And in terms of his physique, he has a pretty nice physique, okay? Definitely something that you can achieve as a natural. But also I'd like to go over his lifts right down here really quick, where he's hitting like, you know, over a 650 squat and around like a 700 deadlift. These are kind of very attainable weights, okay, like as a natural, okay? When you get into like the 650, 700 pound squat, you can get into the 700, 750, 800 pound deadlifts, okay? Bench press, you can definitely bench 405 as a natural, which I'll get into in a second. But I just wanted to bring some attention to that, where you know, in that range, like there's kind of a range where naturals are able to get to, okay? Like 600, definitely for sure you can squat that, okay? Even like considering leverages and all that, like even if you are like a very tall kind of guy, you could still squat 700, you know? Does that mean, like, because you're a tall guy, does that mean you're gonna go off and squat 800? Like, not necessarily. It depends on your body mechanics and your legs, and you have to figure that out. You might be very, very good at deadlifting, which is like, you know, another thing. You might have good genetics and good leverages for that. But when it comes to like, you know, and like deadlifting, of course, you know, like that has its own like kind of limits in its own, right? Like where It's a little bit heavier than squats, like 700 or 800 would kind of be like a good echelon for a natural. But I'd like to just go right over here and check out Russell Orhe really quick. And he has a nice physique, okay? He's been doing this for a while. He has a nice good genetics. He has a really nice physique. He does a lot of strength training. And of course, you know, what comes with strength training is some muscle size. You do have to kind of go back and like train for that. But I'd like to kind of show you guys, like he's hitting these 405 benches, these bench press. And he's hitting 405 for 2. Okay, and I totally would believe that this guy's a natural, absolutely, you know, because he's been doing this for a while. He's really just getting that 405. Now he does, you know, squat and deadlift a decent amount. But like I said, he's been doing this for a while, and he doesn't exactly jump out, you know, as someone that's like on a ton of gear. You know, if we go look at like Larry Wheels, yes, everyone knows, we can tell that he's on gear. But you know, for the most part, you can kind of look at Russell here. It's a pretty good bar to set for yourself, you know, as a natural, you know. I like to think that my physique is nice as well, you know, but for the most part, there's a lot better physiques out there for naturals that you can kind of model yourself after, okay? So this video, of course, like I said, I just want it to be like for people to be able to kind of look at and be able to see like, oh, like I can get here as a natural, or I could look like that as a natural, you know. And then of course, like what the difference is between like the geared and natural lifting, right? I want to bring the attention to David Lade for a second. I remember a couple months ago, he put out a video where it was like a 390 bench press. And personally, I did not fucking believe that whatsoever, because it came out of nowhere, you know. It was just like this video that he wasn't recording any videos for a while or something like that, and then he just comes out of nowhere and he's like, you know, deadlifting like a fuck ton, and he's like benching like almost 400 pounds. Like I just don't believe that, you know, like it's fucking bullshit. Guys like this, like Russell Orhe, where he's a natural, he just hit this 405. Even like Nick Kiger, he only hit like 405 like not too long ago. I forget, there's a video in here somewhere. It's 365 right there, you know, 315. He's throwing around 315 pretty well, but Nick Kiger here is a natural for sure, you know, and like he's definitely someone to follow because for strength, you know, because he's not the most genetically gifted guy, and he still hits hits it hard, and he's lifting some fucking heavy weights, and no doubt like in like a year or two, you know, he's really going to be in that kind of like upper echelon of natural powerlifters. I definitely believe that for sure. I'm gonna go over to Brian whatever the fuck his name is, because I don't know how to pronounce it. But he is definitely a mentor of mine. Not a mentor, you know, like I've watched his videos, is what I mean to say. But definitely his physique, you know, you can see he's a very fucking jacked, you know, big dude kind of thing. You know, his physique is great. I really don't, he's been doing it for a very long time, like 20 years, I think, because he's like a little bit older. It's like 30 something or whatever, 35 maybe. So he's been doing it for a very long time, and I definitely would believe that he is absolutely natural, okay? Because he's very upfront, he's very like, you know, a trustworthy guy. He really talks a lot. He talks a lot about like the deep stuff, you know. So it's not something that he would. I don't think it's something that he would leave out. Anyways, as far as like strength is concerned, though, you know, like you can take a look. I've seen him deadlift 700 pounds. This is 600 pounds. Pause deadlift. Easy. He has done 700 before, and like I said, that's kind of like in the upper echelon of like a natural lifter. Like 700 to 800 pound deadlift is definitely doable as a natural. I just want to show Dylan McKenna right here. There's a physique. This kind of shot, I am not 100% sure if he's natural or not, because these pictures right here, I'd like to think that he's on a little bit of testosterone, or he could be like on like some Deca or something like that, you know. But in terms of physique, to be honest with you, like a physique like this, or a physique like this, or, you know, physique like that is definitely doable as a natural as well, okay? It just takes like time and effort. That's kind of like an end goal per se, you know what I mean? Like that is definitely like something in later years. I'm not going to say 100% if he's natural or not, okay? Because between him and David Lade, like I don't believe either of those guys are actually natural. Like they could be doing testosterone or tren or something, and they're so fucking strong. Or they could just be doing powerlifting, and I could be a total fool and like whatever. Okay, now let's just run into the geared lifting guys really quick. One of my favorites, Larry Wheels. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. He's hitting like 630 benches. He just deadlifted 900 pounds like last week. All this crap. A lot of those lifts like shot up really quick as part of his, I would say part of going on some gear, and also part of like the peaking process, right? Those lifts will go up like fairly quick, you know, with the added anabolics and stuff like that. But you can, you know, if you're gonna look at that guy and you're gonna be like, oh, he's natural, then you're a fucking idiot, okay? Don't fucking look at him. Like, don't look at someone like this and think that they're natural, okay? Because they're not. Just want to jump over and just kind of emphasize that point. I've never believed that Simeon Panda was ever natural, okay? Like, the dude is just like a fucking, do I want to say freak? Like, I mean, yeah, you know, but like, I don't think he's a natural freak, you know what I mean? And the thing about being natural or being not natural, you can take stuff and you can keep a lot of that muscle that you gained for years, you know? Like, there's, like Rich Piana, for example, he took a lot of, it takes a lot of effort. He took a lot of time to really put on like all that muscle mass, okay? But really for the past couple of years, he hasn't had to take enormous amounts of like, you know, GH or like anabolics or whatever. He's just kind of been training, you know, and like just that training really like keeps a lot of that muscle, you know, even if you're not like progressively like moving forward in the weights kind of thing. You want it to be like mostly like strength training, so that the muscle kind of just like stays, you know, like if you do like really high reps, like sets of 15 and 20, you're really like blowing your muscle up like a lot, like it's really like this pump effect, you know, and it's a lot of glycogen that kind of just gets refilled and it makes your muscle look like really big. But that's not really the case, you know. You really want to tear your muscle down and do like strength training with like sets of 8 and 6 and, you know, like lower reps and stuff like that. That really tears your muscle down, and it's that kind of muscle actually stays a lot longer. It looks denser and it's like more striated kind of thing. But anyways, like I don't fucking like this shit where people like to claim that they're natural. Anyways, guys, that's kind of my take on those things. Like I said before, I do plan on not being natural, so I will plan on taking gear very soon. Actually, I've actually been talking to a few friends. I have a few friends that were in medical school, and they were actually able to talk to me about about anabolics and the kind of hormones and stuff like that. So I'm getting into it, starting to learn about it, and I'm going to put out a video on that. So if you're interested in that, please stay tuned and subscribe. I do not plan on lying to anyone about, you know, physiques and strength like that. However, absolutely, like I tried to make the point of in the video, was that you can still achieve an amazing physique and you still can achieve great strength gains as a natural, okay? Even up until this point, like just now, like last year, I was able to deadlift 500 and I was able to squat 450, okay? And that was even after like a lot of injuries and a lot of bullshit that I had to go through. And then coming back this year, I just revamped my training, you know, and then like I trained a lot more for size and stuff like that, and then like did my powerlifting kind of thing. And after like a couple cycles of doing that, I've really blown past where my lifts were at before. You know, I was actually able to deadlift 565, and I was actually able to squat 495 for the first time ever. So definitely about 50-pound increase on both of my lifts. The bench press still takes some time because my collarbone, my shoulder is still all fucky. You know, it really the shoulder is like really out of the groove and stuff like that. You know, so I have to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to really make sure that it's on point. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire.